Are you threatening me now? Are you threatening me now? This is public water. It's as public as it gets. This is actually harassment when you're harassing somebody fishing. I am done talking about it. No, you couldn't legally kill me. The threat's a whole different scenario. Before you were just you threatened me and we're gonna change the game. Come on out here, buddy. Hey guys, so listen, this is the video that I never wanted to make. Fish on. That's a toad, brother. Golly. All right, so before we jump into this video, when I say it's a video I never wanted to make, I didn't want to make one of these videos that's kind of clickbaity. It's designed to go viral or any of that other stuff. And I've had a number of run-ins that I've gotten on camera. The reason that I feel it's important to release this video is things kind of took a turn and escalated to a point where it's not just a casual argument between a landowner and a person on the water. We've all seen those videos, but this landowner took it to the point where he threatened to kill me and said he would shoot me, and he had the right to, and that he could drag my body up onto his property. No, you couldn't legally kill me. Okay. 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 I'm right here then. Are you threatening me now, Larry? Are you threatening me now? Are you threatening me now? The threat's a whole different scenario. So, first and foremost, the person that I was dealing with, or the people that I was dealing with this scenario, are either a little bit mentally unstable, or they've dealt with a number of crazy interactions with anglers. So they decided the best way to deal with it is to put a gate up and block off navigable waters, which is not legal. And secondly, if you wanted to put that gate up to keep anybody from coming down the creek, I had come up to the gate. So I wasn't even past the gate, even if it was legal. So if you didn't want anybody coming that far, they should have put the gate out at the main entrance of the lake. So this lake was fishing tough. The wind was crazy. So a lot of guys are gonna say, or a lot of folks are gonna say, why were you even back there? Well, the wind was blowing like crazy. We got up in this creek into protected water. I told my videographer to hang back because it was such a small creek that I didn't want to spook the fish. I pull up to this gate and I skip a bait up under it, first cast, catch a fish. Ooh, oh yeah, that's a good fish. That's a good fish. There's another pretty fish. Decent little dude. They're getting a little better. Time to find two more. Well, of course, literally I'm reeling the fish in, and I see this guy come walking out, and he starts casting right across the bow of my boat. And I was like, in the beginning, you know, I was like, hey man, how are you doing today? Howdy. What's that? He's like, good. Something to the effect of, until you brought your bleep and, you know, whatever. You know, and at that point, we've all been cooped up from COVID. It was the first fish I'd caught that day. I'm kind of like, dude, I'm not leaving just because you came out here and start casting at me. And this is public water. So he asked me if I could read the sign, starts cussing at me. I tried to diffuse the situation and ask him where he's from. He has said, I'm from effing Jersey. And then of course, then I kind of went a little bit wrong. I said, yeah, I could tell, you know. So at that point, I realized this is one of those escalatory situations that I could easily get escalated in because, you know, I try to be as professional as I could be, but, you know, I also grew up a redneck. So if you poke me in my chest, you're probably going to end up with a little bit of a pushback. Well, next thing you know, his buddy comes over. So this dynamic duo obviously have this little dance rehearsed where anytime somebody comes up in this creek, they come out and they start threatening them. So this guy starts threatening me and he tells me he's going to call the police. So to diffuse the situation, I said, I'm fishing in public water. If you think I'm wrong, call the police. So then he kept on jawing, cussing at me. The other guy's cussing at me, and I said, call the police. I'm done talking to both of you. This is public water. It's as public as it gets. This is actually harassment when you're harassing somebody fishing. I am done talking about it. I'm fishing. Go away. So guys, listen. Here's what this video is about. there is obviously a reason that these two landowners are frustrated. Some of it's entitlement. Some of it's probably some anglers paddled down their creek before and maybe got out on the bank and trespassed, or maybe peed in front of their wife, or threw trash out on the bank, or what, who knows what number of reasons. Or they could just be irritable, angry people, right? Who knows? But at that point, when it had escalated and the gentleman on my left threatened to kill me, my immediate response was, wait, honestly, it was disbelief. I was a little bit heated at that point, and I told him, I said, now, things just took a different turn now, brother. There's no more just, me and you arguing about whether or not I should be here. The threat's a whole different scenario. Before, you were just, you threatened me, and we're gonna change the game. Come on out here, buddy. That's a whole different ball game when you threaten me. He says it was legal to shoot me and drag me on his property. At that point, I left. I called the police myself. I called the sheriff's department, and the sheriff's department asked me where I was at, and they told me they would meet me at the boat ramp. I could be there in 10 minutes.
Okay, so I'm gonna tell them that.
Yeah, Bannon's Fish Camp, landing.
Hold on.
So, out of respect for the officers involved with this, because I'll tell you straight up, they handled this unbelievably professional. But out of respect for them and their jobs and their privacy, we're not showing the officers or the interaction that I had, and that's not the purpose of this video. The purpose of this video is to say this. If you're in a situation where you're being harassed on the water, distance is your best friend, okay? Don't do what I did, even as long as I did it, and dig your heels in, even if you're catching fish. Back out of the situation, and if you feel as though you're wronged, notify authorities, because it is against the law, depending on what state you're in. There are some federal mandates that protect sportsmen's rights. So to protect your rights as a sportsman to hunt, to fish, to be in the outdoors, once you've let someone know that you are in the right, that you feel you're in the right, and they threaten to call the authorities, you tell them that they have the right to do so, and if they don't, then you do it. Because if they continue to badger you, that's harassment, and you have the right to press charges. Now, I didn't press charges in this scenario. The police department did call me back. They did tell me that they had driven down and spoken to both gentlemen. It's obvious that those gentlemen had been out of shape of other angler interactions, and they were taking it out on me. That didn't make it acceptable, but here's the takeaway from this video, and I'm gonna end the video on this. It got that situation on the record. So what I want, the purpose of this video is I wanted to say this. If that guy threatened to kill me, if he's threatening bodily harm, if he's threatening to do these things, or if he's just harassing anglers, he was out there within 3 or 4 minutes of me catching the fish. Then he's doing it to other people. And so people that live on water, just like folks that go out and fish on water, need to understand what the limitations are. And both of these gentlemen crossed that threshold of what's acceptable. And I needed it to be documented, and I needed it to be on the record, so that the next time this happens, if somebody else calls the police, it's not the first time. So if everybody just blows it off, then it constantly gets blown off, and then it has the potential to snowball, and crazier things have a tendency to happen, especially with somebody that has the willingness to threaten you, that they're gonna kill you. So if you're ever faced with a situation like that, call the authorities. Whether you want to or not, whether you think you're gonna sound like a snitch, or whether you think it's a bad thing to call the police so that you can get it on record. Guys, listen, I never wanted to make a video like this. I feel like that we all have way too much going on to be fighting over access on water. If you live on public water and you're watching this video, stop harassing anglers. It's public water. Here's the thing. I've had people come up and say, what if I came up and fished in your front yard? And you know what my response to that is normally, and it diffuses the situation? I say, well, what if I came and sit down in your front yard and started harassing you? Because that's what you're doing right now to me fishing. They usually then get it, and that's the end of the conversation. This one escalated a little bit past that. Hope you guys liked the video. I promise you, if this is the first video of mine you've ever watched, this is not what this channel is about. Smash that subscribe button and go check out a video where you can learn something, especially how to get out on the water and have fun, not get frustrated like the scenario that happened in this video. But again, if your safety's ever threatened, be sure to call the authorities, get that on record, and yeah, man, I'll see y'all in the next video. Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, do me a favor and help support the channel by downloading the Fishing Chaos app now so you can get in on the action.